And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to takesbyfans.com/watch. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So, however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alrighty, today's a big old Saturday, folks, and one more day, 24 hours plus two more. What do we got? 26 hours until the championship Sunday truly kicks off. Well, we've really kind of taken care of business on talking all that through. So today on the show, we're just going to be breaking down the NBA and going over some stories in the NFL. Coaching news that just broke yesterday. Another team got its new coach for next season. So we'll break all that down. It's a good decision, but we will break all that down. Some other stories I do want to kind of touch upon as well in the NFL. But tomorrow we will be focusing back on the championship games, Championship Sunday. We'll be looking at prop bets for both the games, last second best bets, last second news, all of that. But that's going to be on tomorrow's show. So let's just jump right into it. Should we start the show today? Let's just start the show here, and let's start here with the NBA. Alrighty, tons of games on in the NBA last night, and some great performances, and we did pretty good hitting our bets last night, all of our picks. So let's start here with the first game up. We got the Pistons at the Magic, and folks, yes, Magic getting it done against a bad team. Only had to swallow 3. Bingo, bango, we loved it, and they win by 16 points. Magic get the win, 119-103. This Magic team is solid, folks. This is a bettable team, a believable team out here. They've been getting better. Obviously, they've only still got 10 wins. I mean, we're not going overboard on this Magic team, but when they're facing, bottom of the barrel teams, if we're getting like 10 or more points when they're facing a solid middle of the road team, I still believe that's great value. We've been tracking it, and a real solid win, a real solid performance that truly boosts their bettability as we head towards, kind of the end part of the season. So, well done for this Magic team, always getting better, and that's our man right here, Franz Wagner, folks. 24 points, led the team in scoring. Franz Wagner, folks, truly the key here for this Magic team, and he's just getting better every single game. So big shout out to Franz Wagner. Cole Anthony, 12 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. He's been struggling being efficient from shooting, folks. 12 points, but on 26% shooting. We were big on Cole Anthony for this Magic team in the beginning of the season, but then this middle part of the season, Franz Wagner has truly been the one to kind of make it all competitive and make it all work. So we still like Cole Anthony, but we think we like Franz Wagner not a lot more, but a touch more, should we say. Franz Wagner, big shout out to that man. We got Mo Bamba at the 5, 18 points, 11 rebounds. Wendell Carter, 9 points, 11 rebounds. And then the bench, folks. This is a solid team. It's not one person getting all the production here. It's the entire team. And I think that's why this Magic team has struggled a little bit in the beginning part of the season, was because it was really just kind of the Cole Anthony show. And then he was out, I think, because of COVID for about a week and a half stretch. And that's truly when we saw this Magic team blossom a little bit into a solid contending team, competitive team. So now that it's all coming together, big time bettability trending up on this Magic team. Off the bench, we get Gary Harris, 10 points, 6 assists, fantastic. Chuma Okeke, 17.6 rebounds, and then Terrence Ross, 21 points in only 24 minutes off the bench. Well done, fantastic. Moritz Wagner getting no love out there, the Wagner twins. Moritz Wagner coming off the bench, getting no love, only playing 9 minutes. Alrighty, we know Moritz Wagner can get it done. We've seen him get it done, but this Magic team, do we dare say they're so deep they don't even need Moritz Wagner anymore? That's kind of what it's trending to. So, well done. I can't truly gush over this Magic team enough, folks. This is a solid rising team. Obviously, folks, we're not talking about them like they're the best team in the league or top 10, anything like that. They've got 10 wins. We still have to focus on that, but they are being competitive in these games, and that's the first step of being a good team. You got to start to be competitive, then you can start winning games, and then you got to be consistently winning games, but that's that first step, being competitive in this Magic team. is all about it. So shout out to that. And then they beat this Pistons team. Pistons obviously aren't good. They've got no bettability, no buyability on this Pistons team at all. Still no Jeremy Grant. He's probably going to get moved. They're not going to play him anymore. Sadiq Bey, 17 points, 5 rebounds. Cade Cunningham, 8 points, 4 assists, a little bit lackluster, shooting 17%, and that was really it. They had some good performances off the bench, but if your starting lineup isn't good, do we care that your bench is good? Not really. It's like the Knicks. Their bench is good because Tom Thibodeau doesn't know. Ooh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that Knicks game in a couple of games here. But Magic get the win, folks. 119-103, big time bettability on this Magic team, folks. Love it. All right, next game up here, we got the Lakers and the Hornets, and nobody was playing for the Lakers last night besides Russell Westbrook, and he had a fantastic performance, almost won the game, almost. Let's show you the play right here. Lakers down 2 points here with about 9 seconds left. Russell Westbrook gets the inbound, gonna hold it at the 3-point line, take a 3-pointer, which, but he does not make it, unfortunately, and the Hornets hang on to the win, 116-114, but now everybody's gushing over Russell Westbrook. No, folks. No. You cannot have it both ways. We all know the Russell Westbrook slander. It's out of hand. It's out of control. We've said we will not. I will never slander Russell Westbrook. I will not do it. The man is what you want on the floor. Is he always efficient? No. Does he have all the turnovers? Yes. But this man gives you his all every single second he's on the floor. And folks, we celebrate competition. We celebrate great level of play, and this man is truly everything that we kind of, love in sports. Gotta, contribute to the wins a little bit more. That's the one, little slight that we do have on Russell Westbrook. We still want to see the wins, but this man, he gives it his all every single time he hits the floor, and we don't really get that from every NBA player. So we never slander Russell Westbrook. Y'all always slander Russell Westbrook 24/7, but last night, everybody wanted to gush and praise. Oh my God, Russell Westbrook, what a performance. No LeBron, no AD, classic Russell Westbrook by himself out there, and he almost won the game. Everybody was kind of praising Russell Westbrook. No, I don't like to be the gatekeeper of information or takes or anything like that, but I am going to kind of put my foot down a little bit on this one. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot slander Russell Westbrook the entire season, his entire career, and then he has one good game, and it was still a loss. That's what was so mind-boggling to me. Y'all were gushing over Russell Westbrook even in a loss. It was so bizarre that these people that have been clowning this man suddenly praise them for not even winning a game but having a good performance. I mean, what? It's just I don't get y'all sometimes, folks. I don't get y'all sometimes, but that's what it is, folks. Russell Westbrook, 35 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. He shot 52%, 3 of 7 from 3. And only had 1 turnover. Real solid. Still a -11 on the floor, but, this Lakers team, they've got nothing on their team, especially without LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So Russell Westbrook trying his damnedest out there. Nobody else in the starting lineup played good at all. Wayne Ellington shot 37%. Stanley Johnson shot 28%. We had DeAndre Jordan at the starting 5, only took 2 shots, but we know, DeAndre Jordan, he's just not the guy anymore. No more Lob City days with DeAndre Jordan, how unfortunate. And then Carmelo, classic Carmelo off the bench, 19 points, always solid, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Austin Reeves off the bench, 16 points, 8 rebounds. And then we get Kent Bazemore, 13 points. But we know this Lakers team, there's just nothing good on this team, truly. But Russell Westbrook kept it close. And then for the Hornets, this Hornets team, I think we said this earlier this week, but the bettability on the Hornets is truly gone. I don't feel comfortable betting the Hornets at all. They are so up and down. Once again, they had like the 158-point game. They almost blow. Why are you being close? Why is this game close? Why was this game close? It should not have been close, but here we are, 3-point win for the Hornets, winning 117-114. So, got to stay away from the Hornets. They've got great players. We like their team. They've got a good makeup here, but their inconsistencies, folks, that turns us off of betting them really at all. So, LaMelo Ball had 20 points, 7 rebounds. Terry Rozier, 20 points. They've got scores on this team. That's not the problem with this Hornets team. Truly, it's not the problem. They just put up 158 points. Defense, obviously, is the biggest knock on this Hornets team. We had Miles Bridges with 26 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Mason Plumlee still getting it done, only 8 points, but he's not the offensive big here. Once again, why LaMelo Ball has big-time success here, because he doesn't have a ball-dominant big that he needs to kind of feed, and he needs the ball in his hands for. Miles Bridges, 20, or we were at Mason Plumlee, 8 points, geez Louise, 17 rebounds for Mason Plumlee at the 5, love to see that. And then their bench, we got PJ Washington, 12 points, no Kelly Oubre Jr. last night, and they were still able to get the win, so that's pretty solid for them. And then we have Ish Smith with a big old 22 points coming off the bench. So scoring was coming from everywhere here for the Hornets, but it still was close. The defense needs to tighten up a thousandfold, truly. But where's this Hornets team in the playoff standing? Let's refresh this. Are they in the top 6? Are they in the top 10? What do we got? Number 7 here in the Eastern Conference for the Hornets at 28-22, 7-3 in their last 10. But that defense needs to tighten up there. So Hornets get the big old win here, 117-114. Alrighty, next game up here is the Celtics and the Hawks, and we called this a great gauge game. Both of these teams have been trending up, but the Hawks are the true contenders, and I think the Celtics are a little bit of pretenders here. Hawks get the big ol' win, 108-92 over the Celtics. This Hawks team, like we broke it down yesterday, both these teams are rising. These win streaks, they're like, I think they were both like 7-3 in their last 10 here, but the Hawks get the win, so we can buy a little bit more into this Hawks team where we pull back a little bit on the Celtics. But Trae Young, 21 points, 6 assists, 9 rebounds. John Collins, 21 points, 9 rebounds. Clint Capella down low, only 6 points and 7 rebounds, only playing 22 minutes. Danilo Gallinari coming off the bench, 14 points, and then Bogdanovic coming off the bench here, 19 points, 3 assists, fantastic, shooting 3 of 7 from the 3. We will take that. So Hawks, the scores were kind of here, out in full force, where the Celtics always relying on just Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum, 20 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. He didn't shoot well at all, 29% from the field. We had Jaylen Brown, 26 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists. He shot 2 of 9 from the 3. Once again, that's all they've got. They are all taking the shots right there. Marcus Smart back in the starting lineup here, 17 points, but only 2 assists. So once again, there's really no great ball movement on this Celtics team overall. And we really, I want to see Dennis Schroeder at the 1. I really don't want Marcus Smart in the starting lineup here. I don't really know what's wrong with the Celtics team. It just seems like they're so stagnant on just those 2 superstars. But you need that kind of third. You need some other facilitator here. They never get any good production from their bench at all. They're not, it's like the Knicks. They're not developing these young players on this team. Aaron Nesmith, Peyton Pritchard, they're not fantastic, but build them up. What are we doing here? You're wasting all the time here, and that's what we preached so much early on in the NBA season. Know what you have, develop the young players, allow your bench to play more minutes in the first quarter of the season to truly know what you have here before the middle of the season, before the end of the season comes, where now it's do or die. You really have to start winning games and being consistent in your winning if you want to, secure a playoff spot. And this Celtics team is just making a big mistake here. So Jason Tatum, 20 points. Jaylen Brown, 26 points, but that's really it. We can shout out Marcus Smart with the 17 points, but once again, only 2 assists. I mean, he's the one. They've got Jaylen Brown. They've got Jason Tatum. Feed them the ball. I don't want Marcus Smart taking 8 shots a game, really at all, but, he was efficient last night, so we still give him a little bit of credit, but overall, we know the consistency is not there. That's why the Celtics are not that great overall. So Hawks get the big O win, 108-92 over the Celtics. All right, then we get the Nuggets at the Pelicans here, and the Nuggets, hey, I got to give this Nuggets team credit. Jokic keeping it together here, and without Michael Porter Jr. and their Jamal Murray, and they're being a little consistent out here. I want to say they've got something good here in their last 10. Let's quickly see. I want to say like 7-3 in their last 10. 7-3 in their last 10. They are now the number 6 seed in the Western Conference. Very well done, Jokic, folks. I mean, true MVP. Without Jokic, this team is absolutely nothing. They get the win over the Pelicans, 116-105. For the Nuggets, we got Jokic, 29 points, 10 assists, 13 rebounds, triple-double for the man, like classic. Aaron Gordon, 20 points, fantastic. This is what we need by the Nuggets. We need Aaron Gordon to be the consistent number 2 kind of scorer here for this team now that all their great offensive pieces are no longer playing. So shout out to Aaron Gordon. He shot 44% on 18 shots, 2 of 8 from 3. Not bad, but we love those 20 points, absolutely. Austin Rivers, 12 points at the 2. Monte Morris, 13 points, 8 assists. Very well done. We will absolutely take that. Bryn Forbes having a quiet, good season here as of late. Got to respect it. 14 points coming off the bench, and this Nuggets team secured a win last night. For the Pelicans, no Valanciunas down low and no Brandon Ingram, so they were kind of working with their B squad. So definitely a good win here for this was a must-win game. You really couldn't lose this game for the Nuggets. So taking care of business, we will always respect that. So we got Willie Hernangomez filling in for the 5, 18 points, 16 rebounds. That was Valanciunas-esque, absolutely. We get Herbert Jones at the 4, filling in for Brandon Ingram, 19 points, 5 steals, 3 assists, 7 rebounds. That was pretty much Brandon Ingram-esque as well. So shout out to the next man ups here for this Pelicans team. Got to respect it. Josh Hart, 16 points, 8 rebounds. Devontae Graham, 15 points, 5 assists. And then their bench, folks. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 18 points, 4 assists. And then our man Jackson Hayes, only playing 15 minutes, but 13 points, 3 rebounds, efficient, shooting 75%. This Pelicans team, they've got some nice pieces here, but it's not translating into wins, obviously, even with Valanciunas and Brandon Ingram out there. So something's got to change here. Still obviously waiting on Zion. Zion hopefully can bring and tie this entire team together because they've got some great pieces out here. Jackson Hayes, Walker, Josh Hart, Graham, Willie Hernangomez, everybody that we just mentioned. They can all get it done consistently here. So this Pelicans team can be dangerous. Maybe switch up the coach a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Because this Pelicans team is still a little underperforming even though they are still missing Zion. So Nuggets get the nice win here, 116-105. Alrighty, next game up here is the Clippers at the Heat, the Dogs versus the Pup, folks. And we like this Clippers team. We said that when we were breaking this down. We officially took it at on Showtime. It was Heat minus 7.5. But this is what we say, folks. Always bet real close up. Lock in that bet really close up to game time, tip-off time, because this spread, when we did it at about 12:20 yesterday, it was Heat minus 7.5. At game time, though, it was Heat minus 7. And what was the final score? Heat win 121-114. They only won by 7. So we officially pushed yesterday, but if you locked in a little bit earlier in the day, you would have lost overall. So lock in a little bit closer to tip-off is always good advice. So a little bit of an official push last night, which is kind of good because we like this Clippers team. We called them pups. We know this Heat team is full of dogs, DeKenna, all that. Woof, woof. Yes, sir. But this Clippers team, they have been really good. They've been good without Paul George out here getting it done, being competitive, winning games that, they should be winning, but being competitive. I mean, they really should not have won against this Heat team. Obviously, this Heat team is the best team in the NBA. But this Clippers team, being competitive, played hard until the fourth quarter. That's kind of why they covered the 7.5. If you did take the 7.5 there by the Clippers, because they outscored the Heat 34-25 in the fourth quarter. So shout out to this Clippers team, playing hard, playing to the final whistle, even though it really wasn't a game all throughout, but they got it done in the fourth quarter. So this pups team here for the Clippers, maybe what's the next stage? Is there like a stage of pups that's between dogs from pups to like full-grown dogs? Is there like an intermediate stage there? I don't know. I don't know what the middle stage of a dog is. But either way, these pups are growing here by the Clippers. So big bet ability is rising on them, absolutely. We get Reggie Jackson, 13 points, only 3 assists. We get Amir Coffey, who's been real solid these last 4 games. Big shout out to him, 15 points, 3 rebounds. Off the bench here, Luke Kennard with the big old 23 points. Eric Bledsoe with 19 points. Justice Winslow coming off the bench, 10 points, 10 rebounds. Double for the bench. Yes, sir, we'll take that. So Clippers keeping it close, and obviously they were winning with Paul George. He's been out for a while here. But big big time shout out to this Clippers team. If they get Kawhi Leonard back this season, I don't really know how that's going to shake out. If he does come back, it's probably during playoff time. And we'll see, how Paul George is progressing as the back end of the season continues. But then this Heat team, another great win here. Winning games. Gotta love it. Jimmy Butler, 26 points, 9. This is what we're talking about, folks. It doesn't matter if no Kyle Lowry. Yes, we love Kyle Lowry, and obviously we want this Heat team to be at full strength. But if there's no Kyle Lowry, we can rely on Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's not this kind of, I need the ball in my hands. I want to take 50 shots a game. I want to take 10 threes a game. That's not Jimmy Butler's games, folks, at all. He can be the facilitator while being efficient in getting the points. 26 points, led the team in scoring. 9 assists, led the team in scoring. Why this Heat bet ability is so high, folks, because who's in, who's out, it doesn't matter. They find ways to get it done, folks, and pretty convincingly. So big time shout out to Jimmy Butler, 26 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, absolutely fantastic. Bam Adebayo's always been fantastic here, more aggressive this season. That was what, these Heat players have been clamoring for Bam Adebayo to be more aggressive offensively. They were saying it in the bubble. He really didn't kind of learn last season, but this season, Bam Adebayo is having one of his best seasons. 20 points, 12 rebounds, yes sir. PJ Tucker's being more aggressive scoring as well. When have we seen PJ Tucker put up like back-to-back 15-plus point performances? Because he just had 18 points last night on 75% shooting. Ooh. And then we get Duncan Robinson, 16 points, 4 of 7 from 3. And then we get Gabe Vincent. Yes, folks, Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent in the starting lineup, 23 points, 7 of 12 from the 3. Folks, this Heat team, everybody eats. If I'm eating, everybody eating. That's what Jimmy Butler's motto, folks, and you gotta love it. Tyler Hero coming off the bench, only 11 points, a little bit light by him, but that's what we're saying. They didn't need their kind of usual suspects to get it done. Tyler Hero only 11 points. Wow, that's a little light on him, but they still get the win. 11 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds off the bench for Tyler Hero. So big time shout out to this Heat team. Y'all know how we feel about the dogs here, the kennel. In the Heat get the win, 121-114. Alrighty, next game up here, Blazers at the Rockets. Rockets are just utter trash. We know this. Blazers, I think they were getting plus 3 points last night too. It's like that was the best value of the night. Oh my goodness. They win 125-110 over the Rockets. We can buy into this Rockets team, folks. Anthony Simons is so good. You can move off of Damian Lillard. Example 47 here. How many times have we said this? Anthony Simons is good. You can move off of Damian Lillard. Here's the next example. Anthony Simons, 27 points, led the team in scoring, 6 assists, led the team in assists, 3 rebounds, efficient, 64%. Yes. CJ McCollum, 26 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. So they work together. CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard, they didn't work great together. They got it done together. They were okay. But Anthony Simons and CJ McCollum, I think they work a little bit better. It seems they're more efficient than CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard. Okay, that's what I'm going with. And then we got Nurkic down low, who's been an incredible force here, who truly needed to, with no McCollum and no Damian Lillard at some points this season. Nurkic truly needed to take it upon himself to step up and kind of be the main consistent player for this Blazers team. So we shout out to Nurkic big time. 25 points, 13 rebounds, magnificent. Robert Covington, 13 points, 5 rebounds, and Norman Powell, 16 points, 3 steals, 2 assists, 5 rebounds on 60% shooting. And then we get a nice bench performance by Ben McLemore for 12 points on 44% shooting. So all around, this Blazers team has high bet ability, folks. We are still trending up on this Blazers team, especially against this Rockets team, who is just so gosh dang underwhelming. At home, trash. At home against bad teams. We just saw the Spurs, trash. It doesn't matter. This Rockets team has 0, absolute, probably negative bet ability. They should be paying us for even trying to bet on them. Rockets lose last night. Christian Wood, 21 points, 15 rebounds, the only good player on this team. But what do we say? If your best player you're big, that's unfortunate. You're probably not winning. Need that supporting cast, absolutely, and this Rockets team has no supporting cast. We got Garrison Matthews with 21 points. That was a real solid performance by him last night. Jashawn Tate, 12 points. We had Jalen Green, 17 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. But, we always get these nice performances by these Rockets players, but it's not resulting in a win. So it's just not moving the needle for us over here. So big time win for this Blazers team. Gotta love it. Bettability is there, absolutely. They get the win 125-110. All right, next game up here is the Jazz and the Grizzlies, and we know this Jazz team is deep, folks, but they need Rudy Gobert or Donovan Mitchell to play. We thought Donovan Mitchell was going to be playing. That's why we did like +4 for the Jazz here, but they need some leadership, and without Rudy Gobert or Donovan Mitchell, there is no leadership here on this Jazz team. Doesn't matter how deep they are. If you don't have that leadership, you're not going to be winning games, and that's exactly what we saw last night. Well done for the Grizzlies. We'll talk about them, too. They get the win 119-109 over the Jazz. Let's start here with the Grizzlies since they got the win. Ja Morant, folks. Yes, sir. Triple-double for the kid. All-star starter. Respect this dude. Love it. 30 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds. Yes, sir. A +9 in 36 minutes. The best on the floor. You got to love it. We had Desmond Bane, 17 points. Jaren Jackson, 18 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Steven Adams, 2 points, 7 rebounds. Once again, they don't have that ball-dominant big like Valanciunas last season. Steven Adams getting it done, a +5 on the floor. Very well done. And, just letting Ja Morant play free or allowing, and they're still missing like 3 players that like Xavier Tillman's not playing or those other players, folks, that are out. They still got 3 other players that can come in and get great production in the starting lineup or coming off the bench. So watch out for this Grizzlies team as we head towards the end of the season when everybody hopefully gets good to go to play here and everybody's cleared 100% healthy. This Grizzlies team is truly gonna be making noise here, and it wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't put it past this Grizzlies team of getting to the finals, honestly. So Grizzlies currently the number 3 seed in the Western Conference, and it's truly unfortunate that this Grizzlies team is in the Western Conference because they had the Warriors and the Suns, where if this Grizzlies team was in the Eastern Conference, they'd probably be the best team in the Eastern Conference. So we do know the Heat are in the Eastern Conference, and we still love the Heat, but, this is what we're saying about the Grizzlies. This is how good they are, folks. They could rival the Heat as best team in the league. Could. I don't know if I go there just quite yet. But well done for the Grizzlies last night, truly getting it done. Brandon Clark off the bench, 22 points. DeAnthony Melton, 13 points, 6 assists, 9 rebounds. Absolutely fantastic. That's all coming off the bench. Folks. Well done. All right, and then for the Jazz last night, like we said, no Gobert and no Donovan Mitchell, no leadership here. They've got no identity, and they end up floundering and losing to the Grizzlies last night. So Mike Conley at the 1, Mike Conley, Joe Ingles at the 1 and 2. That's what they rock with no Donovan Mitchell. So Mike Conley, 15 points. He had 6 assists, real solid. Joe Ingles, only 5 points. He took 5 threes and didn't hit any. Joe Ingles, that's what you do. You hit the 3. You didn't hit the 3 last night. What the heck is going on with that? Hassan Whiteside at the 5. We trust Hassan Whiteside. He's good, but he's not a starting big. We love him coming off the bench here, but he has to go into the starting lineup with no Rudy Gobert, and he still had a solid night. 11 points, 8 rebounds on 83% shooting. Still real solid, but not enough to take them and push them over the edge. We had Royce O'Neal, 12 points. He shot 4 or 5 from the 3. And then Bojan Bogdanovic, 13 points, but he shot 1 of 9 from 3. Little lackluster. Jordan Clarkson taking 13 shots. That was the second most. We know that's his game. 13 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds last night. And then shout out to Daniel House Jr., 21 big old points, folks. Do you see what we're talking about with the depth here of the Jazz? So they were competitive, but they need the leadership from one of their superstars, Rudy Gobert or Donovan Mitchell, to push them over the win part of basketball, which is obviously the main point of the game. So the Grizzlies get the win, 119-109. All right, next game up here, Pacers at the Thunder, and, Pacers, man, there's absolutely no bettability on this Pacers team, folks, absolutely. They get the win, but it came in overtime, and they almost lost to the Thunder, folks. Man, oh man. No bettability on this Pacers team, but they get the win, 113-110. For the Pacers, Sabonis, 24 points, 10 assists, 18 rebounds. Once again, your best player's a big, and you're rarely winning, rarely being competitive out here. We get Justin Holiday, a solid performance of 22 points on 66% shooting. Solid bench contribution from O'Shea Brissett, 10.7 rebounds, and Jeremy Lamb, 14 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, but classic Pacers, folks. We've been saying it all season. And then for the Thunder, Luguentz Dort, 27 points, his one great game a month that we see out for the man. 27 points, 2 steals, 4 assists, 8 rebounds. Josh Giddey, 15 points, 10 rebounds, becoming consistent out here. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 10 points, but only 3 assists. Get those assisting numbers up, folks. So, two bad teams, went into overtime, and the Pacers still had trouble winning. So, no bettability in the Pacers at all. And there's obviously no bettability on the Thunder team. We don't even think about betting this Thunder team ever. But the Pacers get the win, 113-110. All right, next game up here is the Bulls at the Spurs. And what did we say, folks? It was Bulls +1, and we were close of taking the Bulls. We thought that was great value, but the fact that Vegas put the spread at only Bulls +1, we really thought it should have been like Bulls -5. That told us, hey, we need to stay away from this game because, Vegas kind of knows. Vegas never loses. The house never loses, folks. You must understand that while betting. That's why it's so hard to truly decipher what's great value and what's not. That's what we do here on the show. We are able to decipher it. We get tripped up sometimes, not too many times, but we still get tripped up, which like, oh my God, that's great value. Turns out it wasn't because Vegas truly does not lose. And that's exactly what it was last night. Bulls lose. They still put up 122 points, folks. And they're only going against the Spurs. And we know the Spurs have some nice young pieces here. But well done by Vegas putting the spread like that. It was a clear warning sign. We told you all about it. Told you all to stay away from it. Hopefully y'all did. And the Spurs get the win, 133-122 over the Bulls. Let's start here with the Spurs. What is this, a 2-game? Is this a 2 or more game win streak here for the Spurs team? Are we starting to get bettability on the Spurs team? 1-game winning streak. Who did they lose to then? Just the other night, because we know they beat, let me go back here, folks, 1 second. Let's get the NBA, because they just had a nice win the other night. Who was that against? Let's get it up here. Hang on, folks. Here we go. Spurs. Here we go. 1-game winning streak, but they just beat the Bulls last night. They lost to the Grizzlies the other night, and then they blew out the Rockets. That's who. So the Grizzlies were in between the Rockets and the Bulls. So overall, solid play out here by the Spurs, trying to get their bettability on track. Currently number 11 in the Western Conference. So they're trying to sneak into the playoffs here, the play-in tournament, and I would like to see that. I would like to see the Spurs team, this young Spurs team, and what they can do in a play-in tournament. Obviously, they're not winning a ring or winning a championship, but, getting that experience of, competing down the stretch, trying to get into a play-in tournament, trying to get into the playoffs. Currently the number 11 seed. If the Spurs do get in the top 10 here, either the Blazers, the Lakers, the Timberwolves, or the Clippers have to come out, and that's where we run into the issue there. I think I want to see all those other teams besides the Spurs. But if the Spurs do somehow sneak their way in, I think it would be good for the sport, good for the league overall. Nice young rising stars up here. So we had DeJounte Murray, 29 points, 12 assists, 9 rebounds. That's how a guard plays. That's how guards play out here in the NBA. Knicks, Celtics, please take notice of DeJounte Murray for the Spurs, please. We had Keldon Johnson, 23 points, 8 rebounds. Jacob Poeltl at the 5. This man tier 1 big in this league, folks. 21 points, 11 rebounds, a plus 30 on the floor. The best by a mile. The second highest plus minus was Derek White with the plus 19. The third highest plus minus for the Spurs was Lonnie Walker and Josiah Primo, both off the bench with only a plus 8. Jacob Poeltl is sneaky great. Like, he's sneaky like he could be like Joe Kick out here, folks, okay? I know that's an overstatement, folks. Relax. A little hyperbole. Never hurt anybody. But Jacob Poeltl is truly getting it done, and that's where the bettability is truly coming from. Jacob Poeltl, DeJounte Murray, absolutely. And then Derek White, 14 points, 9 assists as well. Both guards getting it done, facilitating the floor. Man, that's why we want to see this Spurs team in the top 10. Absolutely. And then Devin Vassell coming off the bench, 11 points, 4 rebounds. And then Lonnie Walker, like we said, 11 points, plus 8 on the floor. So shout out to this Spurs team, folks. Absolutely getting it done, put up 131 points. And then for the Bulls last night, DeMar DeRozan did his thing, 32 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Vucevic down low, 18 points, 8 rebounds. Did Vucevic get outplayed by Jakob Poeltl? We just saw Jakob Poeltl outperform Christian Wood when they faced the Rockets. That's what we're saying, folks. The Spurs team, folks. Bettability, buyability is truly climbing up on them as long as they're kind of facing, bottom half of the teams in the league. Once again, Spurs team, not the best team in the league. We're not taking, swallow points when they're facing the Spurs or when they're facing the Warriors or the Heat or anything like that. We're not saying that. But, what they are, they're a very, very good team out here, young and emerging. And then Zach LaVine getting it done as well. 30 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Kobe White still coming off the bench. I don't love that. I don't really get what that's about. Why are we starting Ayo Dosunmu at the 1 when Kobe White is better? But all right, y'all do you. Kobe White coming off the bench, 18 points on 77% shooting. We absolutely love it. So Kobe White coming off the bench, we don't love it, but the big 3 for the Bulls getting it done. Still need a little bit of help defensively, a little bit. But Spurs get the win, 131 to 122. All right, here we go. Last 2 games. Let's finish it out quickly here. Timberwolves at the Suns. Next game up here. Suns get the win, 134 to 124. Timberwolves keeping it close. But let's start here with the Suns team. Chris Paul, 21 points, 14 assists, 10 rebounds. Man, oh man, watch out for the Suns team. Made it to the finals last season. The way that Chris Paul is playing this season, he's like, I really want that ring. Holy moly, that's what it was like to play in the finals? Now I want that ring. And this man's playing out of his mind, a year older than what he was last year, obviously. Devin Booker still holding it down, 29 points, 9 assists. Bismack Biyombo at the 5 here. We see they have really lost all their beef down low. No DeAndre Ayton. Who's their other one? Man, oh man, I'm blanking. Bismack Biyombo's like their 4th big out here, folks. And he still got it done. 14 points, 12 rebounds. Cameron Johnson, 23 points. McCall Bridges, 18 points. And then off the bench, Landry Shamet, 17 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Jalen Smith, 10 points, 4 rebounds. Truly fantastic here. The Suns team is deep, folks. And like we said, they were missing, DeAndre Ayton, Jay Crowder, one other big that his name is truly blanking on me, and it's very annoying that I can't think of the name there. But well done for the Suns to hold on, even missing all those pieces. And then for the Timberwolves, the big 3, Anthony Edwards, 27 points, 10 assists, 4 steals, 5 rebounds. Karl Anthony Towns, 23 points, 5 assists, 9 rebounds. No D'Angelo Russell, so no official big 3 last night. But we had Jalen Noel filling in at the 1 for him, 10 points, no assists, nowhere near the production level that we do get from D'Angelo Russell. But shout out to Malik Beasley trying to make up for that lack of production. 26 points coming off the bench. Unfortunately, just not quite enough. That's what we kind of know about this Timberwolves team. They're not the deepest, and they truly rely on their big 3. But they kept it close. Big, that's still a green flag for them. But the Suns get the win, 134 to 124. And then finally, the last game of the night here, Knicks at the Bucks. And I'll give Knicks a little credit, a little sliver of credit for putting up 108 points. And they were a little competitive in this game until the 4th quarter. So I don't understand what this Knicks team is doing. I know we said that the other day here, but Tom Thibodeau, what are you doing? You preach defense and you're not even closing out games. This would have been a great game to win. Obviously, defending champions, Bucks on the road, all that, but you kept it close. You were competitive. The Bucks didn't really pull away until the 4th quarter. I want to say they brought it within like 1 or 2 possessions, middle, late 3rd quarter, but Tom Thibodeau, your whole thing is, hey, just defense out here, and you can't close out a game, so your entire plan is not working. We know it's not, and we have solid evidence literally the entire year of it not working, yet you don't switch anything up, folks. I don't get it, folks. Everybody is so stagnant on what they do offensively, and yes, I know I'm not there watching these players in practice every single day, folks. I get it, okay? But at some point, you got to look at your team and be like, it's not working. We've got to try and do something. Why we advise and truly preach, hey, truly use a lot of your players. players. Mix and match your lineups in the beginning of the season to see what you have in game time scenarios. Practice and game are different, folks. I know you have to be good in practice and all that to truly show that you can get it done in a game here, folks, but see what you have in the beginning of the season. They're still not making their younger players any good. They're still sticking with Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier, who have proven the entire year they can't get it done. Evan Fournier is only good against the Celtics. That's it, his former team. So is that something? Just trade him to every single team and then try to get him back next year so he's good every single game of the season. Jeez Louise. Start Emmanuel quickly, start Obi Toppin, start getting some of these younger guys acclimated of playing good basketball, and stop relying on Julius Randle. The man cannot play anymore. He had a one outlier season last year. That is it. Stop revolving the entire offense around Julius Randle. Does not work. Man, oh man, and who is letting Evan Fournier shoot the ball 19 times? I don't want to see that ever. All right, let's start here with the Bucks since they got the win. Jeez Louise. Giannis last night, 38 points, 13 rebounds. Well done. Chris Middleton, always consistent out here, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Not efficient. Definitely want to see him a little bit more efficient. 1 of 7 from the 3, 38% from the field on 18 shots. But we usually get Chris Middleton truly locking in the clutch, in the playoffs and all that. So we'll give Chris Middleton a little bit of, an inefficient pass here in the regular season because we know he usually cleans it up in the playoffs. Bobby Portis still playing the 5, a little bit of a lackluster game last night, 5 points on 20% shooting, only 6 rebounds. Grayson Allen back from his 1-game suspension, 15 points, 3 of 7 from the 3, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Alrighty, finally, we got Grayson Allen great in the beginning of the season, first 3 weeks. Ever since then, nothing impactful here, but he had a real nice performance, and this is what we want to see out of the man, really, for the rest of the year. And then we get Drew Holiday, 24 points, 10 assists, great guard play. You gotta love it. So this was kind of the healthiest the Bucks have been in a while, and they were able to take advantage of it and get the win. And now let's, talk about this Knicks team, folks. Absolutely not good. Kemba Walker, 8 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. Evan Fournier, he did have 25 points. He was the leading scorer last night, but that's not translating into wins, folks. So, and only 3 assists to go along with that. He did shoot 5 of 12 from the 3, but this is an outlier game from Evan Fournier, folks. We don't get this, anything near this, anything resembling this on a nightly basis. Yes, you have a nice outlier game. Julius Randle had an outlier season. Don't fall in love with outliers. That's why we talk the NBA, how we talk the NBA. I know maybe to y'all, maybe to some people, it just seems like we're reading stats off paper. No, folks. We're seeing the consistency, how teams are winning, truly looking at all the numbers on how teams win. When teams lose, what do those numbers look like? Are we talking about consistency at all? And what's the viability compared to these numbers that we're consistently looking at these numbers compared to other teams' numbers? We're just not reading and just regurgitating stats, folks. We truly do not do that. So please don't disrespect me by saying that to me, okay? Everything we do is for a reason, folks. And then off the bench, Julius Randle, 9 points, 11 rebounds. Lackluster. RJ Barrett, 23 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. And then coming off the bench here, Emmanuel quickly only playing 11 minutes, 5 points. Obi Toppin only playing 14 points, 5 points. So nothing great there, but I mean we're doing the same thing here. It's like insanity with the Knicks. You're keeping the same lineup out there. Yeah, you were decently competitive in this game, but you couldn't close it out like usual. That's why we kind of started off this kind of game praising the Knicks for putting up 108 points. When was the last time they put up over 108 points? I want to say it's been at least 3 or 5 games here. Let's quickly see. Here we go. They put up 108 last night. They put up 96 the night before that. They put up 93 the night before that. They put up 102 against the Clippers, just barely over the 100. Then they're back at 91 against the Pelicans, 110 against the Timberwolves, 87 against the Hornets. So this is what we're saying. It's nothing consistent out here. And this Knicks team, what do we got them in the standings at currently? Knicks currently the 12th seed. The 12th seed in the Eastern Conference, not even in the play-in tournament, and I think I'm good not seeing the Knicks in the postseason basketball. Let the Hawks potentially get in there. They're the 11th seed. The Wizards at the 10th seed. Oh, man, how the mighty have fallen, right? The Wizards, they were the number 1 seed the first, 4 weeks of the season, folks. Falling from number 1 to number 10 in the Eastern Conference. The Leastern Conference out here. So, man, oh, man, yeah, Knicks, if they don't get into the postseason play, I'm cool with that. I'm truly cool with that. Alrighty, that is all the NBA from last night. Let's see what we've got on tap for tonight's NBA action to see if we can make a little bit of money. Where is that great value? So let's refresh these lines. Tons of games to choose from, so we can have our pick of the crop here. So let's see what we've got value-wise tonight. So here we go. First game up. We're going Pacers at the Mavericks. Pacers on the back-to-back. We're staying away from this one. Pacers plus 11. Pacers plus 11 over the Mavericks. If you do bet back-to-backs, please don't bet the Pacers. I know they won last night. Please don't bet them. They're still not a good team. So we're staying away from this game. If you have to bet this game, I would always recommend swallowing the points when you're going against the Pacers, but we do not bet back-to-back, so staying away from this one. Then we get the Celtics at the Pelicans. Both these teams on back-to-backs here. Celtics minus 5.5 here. Vegas still giving the Celtics team some love. We just kind of, saw their gauge game against the Hawks last night, so we've got no confidence in the Celtics as of now, but it is back-to-back, so we are truly staying away from it. Then we get the Kings and the 76ers. Alrighty, Kings plus 10.5, 76ers minus 10.5. For the Kings, we get De'Aaron Fox, a game-time decision, and Chimezie Metu, also a game-time decision. For the 76ers, Seth Curry, game-time decision, and Shake Milton are out. But we like the 76ers team, don't get us wrong, but blowing out teams minus 10, that bet ability is just not quite there yet. So not going to swallow 10 points here with the 76ers. No great value either way. We stay away from it. Then we get the Wizards at the Grizzlies. Wizards plus 5, Grizzlies minus 5. Grizzlies on the back-to-back. We got to stay away from this one. Then we get the Raptors at the Heat. Raptors plus 4, Heat minus 4. Y'all know we love this Heat team. This Raptors team is still solid. Let's see who's all in and out here for this Raptors team. Goran Dragic still out. Kem Birch out. Fred VanVleet is a game-time decision. That's big. And then for the Heat, we get Kyle Lowry could be coming back. Kyle Lowry, game-time decision. Do we break our rule? Do we break our rule of not betting back-to-backs? Heat minus 4, it seems like fantastic value, but coupling that with the back-to-back in Vegas, never really showing great respect here. I mean, the Heat minus 4, man, oh man, we gotta stay away from it. We can't, folks. When you're betting, you gotta truly stick to your rules. So we're not gonna bet the back-to-back, although Heat minus 4 is looking like the play. So if you do bet back-to-backs, I guess I would endorse that for y'all. Alrighty, and then the last game. Can we finally bet a game tonight? Jeez Louise. Nets at the Warriors. Finally, no back-to-back, so potentially Nets plus 7, Warriors minus 7. Nets on the road, so we do get Kyrie Irving. Obviously, Kevin Durant is still not there. For the Warriors, Draymond Green is still out. So Nets really don't have any bigs. Can they keep up with the scoring power, the shooting power of Jordan Poole and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson? This is the only game we can take of the night here, and we're going to take the Warriors at home. Big game overall, 2 powerhouse teams, if you want to call them that. Nets, they've really only got Kyrie Irving and James Harden. Patty Mills is truly the deciding factor whether they are competitive in a game or not. But we'll swallow 7 here for the Warriors. Steph Curry's been going crazy, finally back on track. He had a big, was it a full month stretch of just being really bad, inefficient as heck. But Klay Thompson, his minutes are kind of increasing every game out here. Jordan Poole's getting it done, learning how to come off the bench and be as productive as he was in the starting lineup without Klay Thompson. So the only game that we can bet tonight, and we're going to take the Warriors minus 7. Alrighty, that is all the NBA for today. So now let's shift gears a little bit to the NFL and start talking about some stories here that have been going on. Like we said, we're going to kind of go a little bit harder, a little bit deeper into the Championship Sunday on tomorrow's show coming up at noon Eastern tomorrow. We'll probably go noon to 1 tomorrow. Game starts at 3 o'clock. Get us, all the time we need to get settled in, place our bets, all of that. So we'll probably only go for an hour tomorrow, noon to 1. But we'll talk all that through. Last second best bets. We'll make sure our bets are still good. We'll track the value. We can track the value now, actually. Let's see what these values are. Are they still stagnant? Are y'all betting them one way or the other? So let's quickly refresh these lines right here to see if they are still the same. And here we go. We get the Bangles at the Chiefs. Still a 7-point spread. That has not changed. The odds are still the same. Bengals plus the points at plus 100. So y'all are still betting the Chiefs -7, which that is our pick officially. Chiefs -7. And then for the 49ers at the Rams, still at plus 3.5, and the odds are still -110, so the money is still evenly split on both of these games. So as of right now, no change in the lines. And before we truly move off of this, let's see where we get with Tyrann Mathieu. That's a huge piece that gives us confidence in betting the Chiefs. We're expecting him to play Championship Sunday here against the Bengals, coming off that concussion. He just practiced yesterday, which was a big, green flag. But let's see if we got any new news on Tyrann Mathieu. And once again, we do think the line is going to probably change half a point once Tyrann Mathieu is officially named playing, officially good to go, cleared to play. So if you do like the Chiefs now, get the -7 while you can, because I do think it changes to -7.5 once Tyrann Mathieu is full go. So any news on Tyrann Mathieu? Nothing as of really late. All we've got is him practicing, not cleared off of the concussion protocol just quite yet. But if you're practicing, you're pretty much trending toward he's going to be cleared by tomorrow. So no official news just quite yet, but he did practice yesterday. So all right. So that's the Tyrann Mathieu news. All right, now let's head into some other stories here in the NFL. And the first one up here, Brian Dable is now the new head coach for the Giants. Well done, Giants. This is the right hire. Offensive-minded coach here, Brian Dable, making Josh Allen work over the last 2 seasons, getting better. And we said Daniel Jones and Josh Allen pretty much the same type of quarterback, frame-wise, all that. They can both run. They can both throw the ball. I think Josh Allen has a little bit of a stronger arm. Josh Allen does have 16 pounds on Daniel Jones, so Josh Allen is beefier. But overall, I think Daniel Jones can be at that level of what Josh Allen is. So Brian Dable, the perfect fit here. What we were kind of hearing was that maybe they were shifting focus to Leslie Frazier, and we were like, no, please don't do that. So we truly do applaud the Giants for getting the decision right. This is the step that you need to take to try and be relevant in the NFL. Now you've got tons of pieces offensively. If you can keep them all, hopefully you don't lose anybody this season. I don't really know. I don't know. Was Kenny Galladay on a 1 year, something like that? So try to at least keep Kenny Galladay if you can, but Kadarius Toney, once he's fully healthy, you get Brian Dable, who, created the offense for the Bills, allowing Josh Allen to get it done, allowing Josh Allen to run, so expect Daniel Jones to run and all that. So this is truly the great hire here by the Giants. And then we get this. This is where it's going to get a little crazy. So the Giants steal Brian Dable from the Bills, but they're also trying to get their quarterbacks coach, the Bills quarterbacks coach, because we get it right here. As I reported earlier this week, this is Jordan Schultz on Twitter. As I reported earlier in the week, Dable wanted to be a package deal with Ken Dorsey, the Bills quarterbacks coach. He is getting his wish. Sources say Dorsey is currently in negotiations with the Giants to become their new offensive coordinator. So the Bills were trying to get Ken Dorsey to be their new offensive coordinator. So we'll see what Ken Dorsey does. I truly hope that Ken Dorsey stays with the Bills because, who knows what Josh Allen's going to be doing with the new offensive coordinator and a new scheme. When you got Ken Dorsey was part of that offensive kind of, brain trust that was in Buffalo, allowing Josh Allen to be good. So Ken Dorsey already knowing the offense, knowing kind of, the Bills' offensive mindset, what works for Josh Allen. If he goes from the quarterback's coach to the offensive coordinator, we're going to get no kind of dip in offensive production by the Bills and Josh Allen next season. But if you take him away, now it's all left to Sean McDermott and what they kind of remember, bringing in a new quarterback's coach, bringing in a new offensive coordinator who may want to kind of change the way they do things, tweak some things, and we don't know if that's going to be a positive or a negative for the Bills offense and Josh Allen. So this is going to be real interesting to kind of see if Ken Dorsey decides to leave. Either way, he's probably going to be an offensive coordinator. It's either if he's going to be the offensive coordinator for the Giants or the offensive coordinator for the Bills. And once again, going back to, can we just build things? Can everybody stop trying to be the one and only guy? Build something. Eric Bieniemy with the Chiefs, they're building something. We know Eric Bieniemy can be a head coach, but let's build something. They got something great there in Kansas City. 4 straight AFC championships, back-to-back Super Bowl appearances, already won one. Let's build something great. And it seems like Ken Dorsey and Brian Dable are just kind of chasing the recognition, chasing the name, chasing the fame. And I don't know if I love that overall. So this is going to be real interesting to watch what Ken Dorsey does. Does he betray the Bills and go to the Giants? We'll see. But Brian Dable, now the new head coach for the Giants, and now that we've got three teams hiring a new head coach, let's keep track of this, folks. Let's write down our thoughts quickly here. So let's fill in. We've got a new slide here, folks. One of our Google slides that we like to do. Got the right guy for 2022? Question mark. The teams that were needing coaches this season: the Saints, the Bears, the Broncos, the Giants, the Dolphins, the Jaguars, the Raiders, the Texans, the Vikings. Are they getting the right guy? Well, 3 teams have already hired the head coach here. So let's start with the Giants that they just got. Brian Dable. Let's put his name up here, filled out here. Brian Dable, this is the right choice. Right choice, absolutely. Smart offensive guy. Smart offensive mind. Had success with Josh Allen. Let's say Daniel Jones. Similar style. So I think, once again, this is a home run hit for the Giants. This was the correct decision. They'll have our endorsement. We've got 2 thumbs up heading into the offseason for this Giants team. So very well done for the Giants. And then we've got the Bears, who did not do good. No bueno. What is it? What's the man's name? Elberfluss. What's his first name? Is it Eric? Eric Elberfluss. We don't like that. We just talked about it yesterday on the show, folks. Defensive-minded guy. Here it is, Matt Elberfluss. This is not the right hire. A defensive guy. And then he said the thing that we hate here, and do not say this to me ever. I don't want anybody to ever say these words to me. We're building a foundation. We're building a culture. Will y'all stop that 1980s way of thinking? We're done with the culture and the step in the 7-year rebuild, and we've got to go step by step, small step by small step, laying the foundation. Then next season, laying the foundation again to lay down the foundation to potentially try and do something year 4. No, stop it. Bears are regressing. And then you went defensive minded with Justin Fields. Can somebody please get some help for this man? Can somebody hire a head coach that has believability in Justin Fields? Matt Nagy had a 10-step plan for Justin Fields, and that did not work out. And now you're going defensive guy. Justin Fields is going to be neglected, an afterthought as well. So Matt Elberfluss, yes, and once again, we're not knocking the man. Good defensive coordinator. Yes, the Colts defense was good, folks. We get it, but you're not head coach material. Brian Flores, I will always use Brian Flores as the example because that is such the glaring issue. This is the poster child of why you should not use a defensive-minded coach at the head coaching position, folks. Tua was neglected the entire time. He did not ever go out and say Tua's the guy. I have 100% confidence in Tua, anything like that. It was always, yeah, maybe Deshaun Watson. Okay, yeah, maybe. Always that rumor hanging around. And these defensive guys, folks, we see it all the time. Somebody just put out a tweet last night, and I truly agree with that. Let me get up the exact wording here. Here we go. Hey, where is it? I responded to it. Here it is. It's perfect. Shout out to this man, Casey Parrott on Twitter, at Casey Parrott. Yes, sir. He's got 20,000 followers. Damn. Okay. Yes, you do you, my guy. But this is what he said. Fruit off of the Belichick coaching tree is notoriously bitter, authoritative to an extreme, ranging from abrasive to abusive, most of them ultimately unsuccessful. Brian Flores, Matt Patricia. I still can't even believe that man got a job. Matthew Patricia. Both of those trash. It's my way or the highway. And obviously, did that work? No. He's out of the Lions. He's out of the Dolphins in 2 seasons, even though the defense was fantastic. You still can Brian Flores. They've got something, folks. We said it earlier, and this truly reaffirms it. These defensive guys from New England under Bill Belichick, they have this ego, and just defensive guys in general, they have this ego where they're like, I can win the game single-handedly by my defense. I don't need any offense, player, scheme, coordinator, this, that. It doesn't matter. I can win the game solely by the defense. I'm going to put all the money in the defense. I'm going to only spend my time on the defense, and because my defense is so good, the offense only needs to put up 1 point. That's all you need to do is put up 1 point. We'll win. I'll shut out these teams every single time. No, that doesn't work. We see it. Brian Flores letting the Dolphins down in the biggest of games. We've been knocking on the door of the playoffs for the last 2 seasons, and when it comes to that game, winning in, what does he do? Big flounder job, and I don't mean they're just losing by 3. Oh my God, last second field goal. No, they get absolutely obliterated, not competitive in those must-win, winning in the playoff games. This is why you can't go defensive-minded. And then on the flip side, back to the tweet here, right here. Kyle Shanahan tosses out successes like Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, nerdy dudes who speak in earnest about collaboration, innovation, collaboration, taking in ideas from everybody on the team. That's why the Bucs won a ring year 1 with Tom Brady. Oh my God, the new system. You've got to build the culture with Tom Brady, all this. You got to, but no, you can win year 1. Head coach Bruce Arians taking input from everybody. The diversity on that coaching staff is magnificent. You're getting none of that with defensive-minded guys at all, folks. He put it absolutely perfectly. Very well done to this man. Absolutely. He sees, folks. He gets it. He absolutely gets it. So this is what we're saying. Can we stop with the defensive guys? You could be the defensive coordinator. This is what we should do. Bump up the pay of defensive coordinators. That's all y'all got to do. Bump up the pay for defensive coordinators. Let's give them a little extra shine in the media. Can we all agree on this? ESPN, Fox, I'll even do it. Let's all start to kind of give more recognition to the defensive guys so they don't need to feel like I've got to be the head coach to prove I can do this, to get all the recognition, because they're getting the recognition while being the great defensive mind that there is. Brian Flores should absolutely be a defensive coordinator on a team. Absolutely. But not the guy at the head coaching position, folks. That's not winning rings. Look at these coaches in the Final Four, folks. Zach Taylor, Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay. Offense, innovation, collaboration. Sean McVay gushing over Matthew Stafford every second of every single day. Matthew Stafford wakes up to an alarm call by Sean McVay. Hey, Matthew, how'd you sleep? Oh, that's so great. Oh, you got 7 hours? Oh, my God, you got 7 hours. Sheesh. That's fantastic. That's so good. I'll call you in an hour. Have a great breakfast. And then Sean McVay, 20 minutes later, hey, Matthew, how's breakfast going? And Matthew's like, Sean, please please, Sean, like, leave me alone for a second. I'll call you back in a second. I haven't even thought about making breakfast. And then Sean McVay, oh my God, you haven't even thought about making breakfast? Oh, no big deal. No worries. You'll get it. You'll get it when you get it. No worries. Don't put pressure on it. Get around to it when you can. Have that egg. Have that apple, banana. Get those fruits in. A nice little quiche. You want a quiche? You want me to send over a quiche, Matthews? I'm having a quiche delivered to you right now. That's the type of quarterback head coach relationship you should be having. It should be so fantastic and great that it's annoying at sometimes. And Sean McVay, folks, potentially heading to another Super Bowl with, a better quarterback. So please just consider maybe not going the defensive head coach wise, okay? Jeez Louise. So back to the list here. Matthew Alberfluss, we think is the wrong choice. Let's put defensive guy, and he said these words right here: building a foundation. Man, oh man, you don't need to do this anymore, folks. Rebuilding is not a 7-year process anymore. Zach Taylor, Joe Burrow coming off a gruesome injury, comeback player of the year, we're the biggest advocate of that, folks. Joe Burrow, comeback player of the year, but then getting to an AFC championship game on top of all that, 2-year rebuild here in Cincinnati, 2 years, and they've already done miles, leaps and bounds what Andy Dalton has done for that Bangles team his entire career. Get the right guy. You can make a rebuild just like that. Matthew Alberfluss for the Bears. Not the good choice. Other thing I want to put on this. Justin Fields is ruined. Unfortunate. And then we've got, we could spend a little time on this one here quickly, because we get the Broncos once again. Fantastic hire, Nathaniel Hackett, absolutely the right guy. The general manager gushing over him, saying, hey, this is the right guy. He's innovative. He's, I forgot all the quotes, but there were so many great descriptive adjectives that we just read. And we're going to hear from Nathaniel Hackett again. We got another quote here I want to read, because every time we hear this man open his mouth or somebody talk about this man, we are loving it even more. So let's write it up here on our list for the Broncos. Nathaniel Hackett, absolutely the right guy, right choice here. Offensive, innovative, genius. And once again, the running backs, folks, Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, both had 1,000+ yards of production by themselves. With Aaron Rodgers, it's not like Nathaniel Hackett was only good with Aaron Rodgers. The running game was good as well. So yes, offensive genius. Run and pass, perfect balance, getting it done. Love it. Fantastic here by Nathaniel Hackett. Now, let's read what he's saying here. More quotes coming out now that they're having introductory press conferences and officially hired, putting pen to paper and all that. So here we go. The headline here of the tweet: Broncos coach Nathaniel Hackett plans to call plays. Ooh, I love it, folks. This is why we grow, folks. We have been growing, folks. We're not stagnant in one viewpoint, folks. The last 2 years that we've started the show, folks, I didn't really want my head coach calling plays because I thought it was just a little too much to take on. But now that all these kind of offensive guys are at the head coaching position, yeah, I want them calling plays. I don't know if I want Dan Campbell calling plays. That's still a little bit out there. We're still buying into him heading into next season. A little bit of a different case overall here, but Nathaniel Hackett calling plays, yeah, I've got it. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Winning teams with the head coaching calling plays because they're offensive minded. So it's not like we're doubling down on bad takes or not utilizing the film and the stats and everything else. We go with the film and what everything tells us, folks. We've got no problem, shifting our views to we're getting it right. I obviously want to be right, and I think a lot of what we say here is right, but we're here to get it right. If we say something that's wrong, we're going to correct it. We're not just going to kind of keep going back and forth, flip-flopping every single day. No. We're letting it do the talking for us, and this is what we're seeing. So Nathaniel Hackett plans to call plays and be aggressive, saying, quote, you want to take shots down the field, and absolutely, what did Aaron Rodgers not do in the divisional playoff game last week. He did not take the shots down the field, folks. It wasn't that it wasn't open, that Nathaniel Hackett wasn't calling those plays. We watched it. We saw clear, wide open receivers 15, 20 yards down the field that Aaron Rodgers did not throw to. Aaron Rodgers only threw to two players last week. Devontae Adams, obviously you're going to go to him, obviously, but then the running back out of the backfield, Aaron Jones. So that's not getting it done. Dinking and dunking with Aaron Rodgers. When have we seen that before? Not wanting to turn over the ball in the playoffs every single year. So Nathaniel Hackett is truly the right choice here for the Broncos. We absolutely love it. But let's go into this article. I want to hear more quotes. I want to hear what this man is saying. I want to know what to get juiced in. Oh man, there's a lot of quotes here. I was not expecting it to be this long. We'll try to go over it quickly here. We want to hear all the quotes, but we don't need you to kind of, spend 50 minutes describing yourself, okay? That's a little bit too much over here. But here we go. Let's get some quotes here by Nathaniel Hackett and what he's going to be doing here for this Broncos team. So here we go. Hackett is the first to fill one of the 9 NFL head coaching vacancies, and at his introductory news conference Friday, he deferred questions about personnel and the quarterback position in particular. So that's going to be the biggest thing this offseason, getting the quarterback right. Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock, yeah, you may be able to make them to work. They've got great pieces all around the field. Jerry Jeudy, Javonte Williams, the running back, we absolutely love it. So let them get comfortable. Let them assess the draft, the free agents, all that, and then we'll see what they do with the quarterback. I think Nathaniel Hackett could probably make Teddy Bridgewater work, but it's his team, it's his decision, and we'll see what he does. But here we go. Quote, I think right now, just getting here on this day, I think there are so many things we're going to talk about. I think we've discussed all kinds of different things, and I think now that this whole thing is official, I'm so excited to sit down and go through it all, from the entire staff to everything. So the quarterback position, all that stuff, we're going to sit down. George Patton, the new general manager, is a great guy to talk to, and I imagine we will talk for a long time about everything. So collaboration, making sure we're on the same page from the ownership down. Gotta love that, absolutely. What else do we get here? Here we go. Hackett did share his intentions for play calling. However, citing his most recent experience with Green Bay as a proxy for how to effectively juggle that responsibility with being the head coach. He says, quote, yes, I will be calling plays. I love it. Matt LaFleur came in as a first-time head coach, and I was able to watch him maneuver that from being both a head football coach and calling plays. I think it's about being able to budget your time, understanding what you need to get done so you have the ability to be great on game day. In the end, that's the most important thing. I think it's just been about being able to budget all my time, being efficient. Ooh, efficiency, we love that. That's something I pride myself in, is not wasting a lot of time, making sure everybody is prepared and ready, and to be able to do that is having that great staff. You have that great staff and you're capable of doing anything. I'm very excited to get back to doing that. So he's learned from Matt LaFleur. Love hearing that. He knows he needs smart, reliable people, coaching staff-wise. So expect him to make all these right decisions. And hey, if I'm Nathaniel Hackett, I'm calling Brian Flores right now and be like, hey, I want you defensive, man. I want you defensive coordinator here. I know, you're still trying to be the head coach, and I respect that, but hey, if it doesn't work out, please give me a call ASAP. Nathaniel Hackett with Brian Flores. Broncos are 5 times straight winning Super Bowl champions, so we'll call it now. It doesn't matter who their personnel is. All right, let's read one more quote here. Get a nice idea of this man. As for his offensive system, Hackett referenced former Bronco star quarterback John Elway in describing how he'd like to beat defenses with a team that has struggled to score in recent years, saying, quote, I think the starting point is outside zone. Outside zone on offense is what you want to do, and you want to base that off of play pass. You want to make the defenders cover the entire field, and you want to take the shots down the field. I mean, let's all face it, that's what the people in the stands love. They love those bombs down the field. Yes, moving towards offense. Rules are favoring the offense. The crowd loves the offense. So the NFL is going to do everything for the offense. Offensive-minded coaching at the head coaching position only, folks, only. Back to the quote, they love those bombs down the field. I remember watching John Elway throw the ball. Back in my day, John Elway threw the ball down the field. We didn't do no defense back in my day. John Elway throw the ball down the field to Ed McCaffrey on all those boot fakes. I mean, that was unbelievable. This is really where the system kind of evolved from and was created. So you're always looking for that. Then mixing in the West Coast principle of the drop back game. That's kind of a quick summary. So he's going to be offensive minded, folks. Run well, run pass balance. We saw that in Green Bay as well. Like we just said, both running backs for the Packers, Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, both 1,000 yards of production in the run in the pass game individually. That's absolutely fantastic. So Nathaniel Hackett clearing everything. Big old green flags. I'd probably say this is the best hire so far of the season. Brian Dable, very, very close second. All right, and then we get this. Not only is Nathaniel Hackett coming to Denver, but he also may be bringing somebody. He may be bringing a guest here because we get this quote by Aaron Rodgers on Nathaniel Hackett. This was back in November 2020. When Nathaniel Hackett, I think, was kind of getting, thought of as a head coaching job. This is what Aaron had to say on Nathaniel Hackett. Says, quote, "There's nobody in the building that brings me more joy than Nathaniel Hackett. I hope he doesn't go anywhere unless I do too." Man, Aaron Rodgers to Denver. We've been hearing that kind of rumored all year long. We know he's probably going to leave Green Bay, especially how this season ended. He doesn't want to be a part of the rebuild. Davante Adams potentially gone. And if Aaron Rodgers doesn't have Davante Adams, we just saw him only throw to Davante Adams in the divisional round. So I don't know if that's what Aaron Rodgers' plan was. I'm actively destructing this team, and I'm only throwing to Davante Adams to prove, hey, I want this man 1,000,000,000,000%. But it doesn't seem like Aaron Rodgers is going to be in Green Bay anymore. Nathaniel Hackett at the press conference not wanting to get into all the personnel talk because he knows I'm just calling Aaron mother-loving Rodgers. He's here tomorrow. He's here now. I had to hide him in my hotel room, but he is here with me right now. So Aaron Rodgers, Nathaniel Hackett with the Denver Broncos, Jerry Jeudy, maybe even bringing Davante Adams, and then you get Brian Flores as the defensive coordinator. 5 straight time Super Bowl champions. Aaron Rodgers retires. Aaron Rodgers is the greatest of all time. I would even admit that. And then we go about our way into watching Patrick Mahomes for the next 10 years to see if he can rival Aaron Rodgers. So, man, oh man, folks, if you're a Denver Broncos fan, I am absolutely jealous. I am absolutely thinking about switching fandom to the Denver Broncos because they've hit an absolute grand slam. This is a grand slam here for Denver, folks. Get excited. Woo! Alrighty, here we go. Let's move on here. Another team with another coaching decision that's probably not going to work out. But we get this. The Texans, they need the head coach. They're not going with Will Culley anymore. I understand it. I thought you maybe give him one more year. I would have, sat Will Culley down and be like, hey, I got you 1 year. 1 more year, 1 year deal here. As the head coach, got to see major improvement for last year. Got to try to be in the playoff race at the end of the year, and if you're that, I will give you another 2 years to try to build this thing. But I would give Dave Culley 1 more year. I love how he handled the entire situation of the Texans. Once again, not, the Deshaun Watson kind of, black cloud that was hanging over this Texans organization. Truly thought he handled it. No distractions here for the Texans all year long. And I thought Davis Mills progressed as the year went on. So I would have gave David Culley a 1-year head coaching deal. But it seems like they're going to go to a different direction. And now they are hosting Eagles defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon for a second head coach interview today. And this is their second one. They had another interview with Josh McCown, a former quarterback, offensive guy. So it seems like they're kind of like, do we go offense? Do we go defense? Defensive guy. He was a coordinator. Josh McCown, he's been a quarterback. He knows the league, a little bit more than most people out here. So we'll see what the Texans do decide to do. I do kind of want to see, do I still have this up? What is this one? So many web pages up here, folks. Do I have it up here? Yes, here we go. All right, let's see. We know this Eagles defense was good, folks. And once again, when we talk about defensive coordinators, they're good, folks. They're good. I'm not saying that defensive guys shouldn't even be in the league anymore. Defensive coordinators are a different beast than head coach, but defensive coordinator here for the Eagles was pretty good, and they were even good in that playoff game against the Bucks. Yes, the Bucks got up 17-0, but then that defense showed up sacking Brady, and it was the offense that lacklustered and couldn't, put up any points, taking advantage of all that great Eagles defense. So this Eagles defense, where do they kind of finish in the ranks here overall? So Eagles, what do we got? They gave up 5,500 yards this season. The average was 5,800, so not bad. A little, obviously, above the average there. You got to love it. What else we got here with the Eagles? How many points did they give up? They gave up 385 points a season. The average was 390, so basically right there. Did they shut down a run or a pass game? Was that anything better than average? They gave up 3,700 passing yards. The average was 3,800, so basically average. And then the rushing game here defensively for the Eagles, they gave up 1,834 rushing yards, and the average was 1,959. So a little bit better in the rushing defensive game a little bit. I don't know if that warrants a head coaching job. We'll see. With Josh McCown, we know he was never a great quarterback, unfortunately. Never a great quarterback. Let's get his official stats up here. Josh McCown, Tay McCown, hang on. Is Josh McCown, right? Am I tripping? Is Josh McCown not even a McCown? Josh McCown. I don't even know what the hell I typed in the Google. Josh McCown, career stats, here we go. His name's Josh McCown. I didn't know that was his last name. I thought it was something else. I thought it was Josh. I don't know what I thought. I did not know this man's name was McCown last name. That doesn't sound right. I think that's a little bit of a, what is it? With the Berenstein Bears and the Berenstein Bears, it's the Mandela effect. I don't think I remember this man's name being Josh McCown. Interesting. But here we go. Josh McCown, 6'4", 218, solid build right there. Played a lot of seasons, never really a starter, obviously. But he played a ton, always in different places, folks. He played, this is the man's resume. The man's been a true trooper here. 1 year in Tampa Bay, 1 year in Philly, 1 year in Oakland, 1 year in Detroit, 2 years with the Jets, 2 years with the Browns, 2 years with the Bears, 2 years with the Panthers, and 4 years with the Cardinals, where he started his career. So, career averages here, folks. Are y'all ready? 60% completion percentage. Ooh, that's not good. What was his best year? 67%. Oh, 67% in 13 games with the Jets in 2017. That's okay. I'll give him that one. 18 touchdowns that year, 9 interceptions, only 2,900 yards. 2,900 yards, Josh. Well, you've got a noodle arm. You're not going deep at all. You played 13 games, only 2,900 yards. That was his best year, 2,900 yards. So this is not a good quarterback, not the great quarterback, not a good quarterback, not a starting quarterback in this league at all. So obviously not the best quarterback out here, but maybe the brain is better. Those who can't teach, and that's kind of what a head coach is. So okay, but if you're going between those two, I'd probably go the offensive guy. But we'll see what the Texans decide to do on that front. What else do we get here? So 3 teams, like we said, have claimed a head coach so far. Dolphins, Jags, Raiders, Saints, Texans, Vikings, all waiting around, folks. Seems like 2 great ones are off the board. Doug Peterson, nobody's even talking about him, and I'm going crazy that nobody's giving him the respect. He won instantly with the Eagles. He won with the backup quarterback. The offense took no hit with the backup quarterback. And Doug Peterson, his last year he got fired was because Carson Wentz truly showed us what he actually is as a quarterback, and it's nothing good. So Doug Peterson should definitely be the number 1 coach available, should have been the number 1 coach available while Nathaniel Hackett and Brian Dable were out there as well. So we'll see which team kind of does the waiting game a little bit and gets Doug Peterson. That's going to be the next great big hire. All right, that's all the coaching news we have. The last 4 stories here, just kind of player personnel, just to kind of talk through real quickly here. So Bengals going to the AFC Championship game. Obviously, Jamar Chase on one-on-one coverage. This is why we want Tyrann Mathieu to play. We need Tyrann Mathieu to play if we truly want to swallow the 7 points here with the Chiefs, because Jamar Chase one-on-one and absolutely fantastic. PFF grades him on one-on-one coverage a 93.4. I believe that's the best in the league. Yards, he has 975 yards on one-on-one coverage. That's number 1 in the league. And explosive receptions, he's got 15. I'm assuming that's probably 15 or 20 yard completions right there. And he's got 15. That's tied for first. So Jamar Chase, rookie, greatest rookie that there is this season at the wide receiver position, absolutely. But one-on-one coverage, he's fantastic. Joe Burrow throws the jump ball, the 50-50 ball, all that. That connection's fantastic, that LSU connection. And, that's why we need Tyrann Mathieu to double this man, help out over the top here. So we'll see. Hopefully, once again, he's trending towards playing Tyrann Mathieu, and we truly need him there for the Chiefs tomorrow. All right, then we get OBJ, and once again, man, oh man, we're going to, dissect, and we're truly going to get to the bottom of Baker Mayfield. At the current moment, we're probably 80-20, 80 selling Baker Mayfield, a little bit of 20% still, a little maybe something glimmering of hope there. But with him being small, him being not clutch, him regressing from last season to this season, and we saw the regression from last season to this season with a couple of quarterbacks. Josh Allen, his stats were not as good as they were last year because they were so gosh dang good. They had to come down, and that's exactly what happened. Baker Mayfield kind of the same way, and they came down really, really bad, worse than Josh Allen did. So, and now Kevin Stefanski doubling down on Baker Mayfield, saying, hey, he's our guy. So, Kevin Stefanski, I like the guy. I think he's good. I like him as a head coach. Great offensive mind, but he's sticking with Baker Mayfield, and I don't think that's going to get it done. But they got one more year to truly prove if they're good or not. And if Kevin Stefanski is going to go and stick with Baker Mayfield, he's going to live and die by that ship. And if it goes down, Kevin Stefanski, it's unfortunate, but part of being a head coach is gauging personnel. Sean McVay had no problem ripping off the Band-Aid of Jared Goff and going for Matthew Stafford. Kevin Stefanski doubling down here. Hey, that's your decision, but you must reap what you sow here. And, if you are still trash next season, the Browns are, I can't really endorse Kevin Stefanski anymore. So that's going to be unfortunate, but he's gonna, he makes his own decision, folks. We've got no problem with y'all making your own decisions, but we're gonna talk about it and evaluate it and compare and all that. And, we've got other great offensive minds here. Nathaniel Hackett, Brian Dable, that could be taking Kevin Stefanski's spot as one of the best top tier, potentially offensive, minded head coaches. So he's living and dying by it. But why we bring this up, OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., now with the Rams. OBJ to Von Miller, when they discussed teaming up, OBJ said, don't come to Cleveland. Do not come here because I'm leaving the first chance I get. So if you're here, I'm not going to say because you're here. I like you and you're a defensive guy, but you're not the one giving me the yards. You're not the one that's helping me hit all of my incentives. You're not helping me win a ring offensively. So I love you, Von Miller. I want to team up with you, but don't you dare come to Cleveland. So, man, oh man, OBJ's fantastic. Getting it done here, doesn't seem to be the kind of diva prima donna that, a lot of people were making him out to be in Cleveland. It was just a bad quarterback. He called it out, and I've got no problem with players calling it out. But you have to stand by it. OBJ has been an absolute great powerhouse for this Rams team. So, he's putting his money where his mouth is, where Baker Mayfield was not putting his Odell Beckham's money where Baker Mayfield's mouth is. He wasn't doing that because we saw him flounder all year this year without OBJ. So I've got no problem with y'all talking your talk, but you got to walk the walk with it. And OBJ is truly walking the walk at the current moment. So Baker Mayfield, big old black mark on him heading into this offseason, and it's only going to be removed if he does good next year. And it probably goes from black mark to a very, very light gray mark that is still on him. So OBJ warning Von Miller, please do not come to Cleveland. Not even a please, do not. Don't you freaking dare get over here. All right. Last two things quickly. Next one up, I just want to see what the machines are saying quickly out here, folks. NFL puts this out every single week, odds and predictions for the course of the week, and there's only 2 games on in the video is still 2 minutes long. It's absolutely way too long. They gotta cut it down, but whatever, we digress. So let's see what the machines, what the predictions, what the probability is according to NFL on both of these matchups come tomorrow, and if we are on the sides of them, or if the machines are agreeing with us, or if we are disagreeing with the machines here. Let's see what we got. So the first game up here, we got Bangles at the Chiefs, and man, oh man, the NFL predicts the final outcome to be 28-25, Chiefs winning, a 59% win probability for the Chiefs, but the Bengals +7, obviously the cover probability for the Bengals is higher here. Let's see, I mean, they got 2 minutes, so they freaking stretch this thing out. Man, oh man, there's no reason to stretch this out this long, but they've got the cover probability for the Bengals only at 51%. That's real interesting. The spread is 7. The spread is 7. They win by 3. Or they lose by 3, and you're still only calling it a 51% cover probability. That doesn't make that much sense to me, and that's why we haven't really been doing this that much. We started real early in the season, watching this every single week, but just the way that these numbers come out, it doesn't truly make sense to us, and it always seems like they play the spread line and all that. So I don't know. We don't put too much stake into it, but it's a reference out here. We like to see what everything is saying. So. But the machines predict the game 28-25 Chiefs. And then for the NFC Championship game, they got the Rams winning 24-23, a 52% win probability for the Rams, and a cover probability of 52% for the 49ers at +3.5. So that's what the machines are saying. And once again, I think Vegas, these lines are truly hard to decipher, but I believe we are on the right side this week with the Chiefs -7 and the Rams -3.5. I'm betting on Sean McVay to get it done. All right, and then the last thing to talk about right here, and this is truly concerning, and I'm starting to get a little worried out here. Tom Brady's retirement decision is, quote, coming soon, as in, like, potentially next week. It really could happen at any moment. Tom Brady makes his decision on if he's going to retire or if he's going to play one more year, and I swear to goodness, if this man retires, I cannot take it, folks. I can't just have Tom Brady here 1 year and gone the next. I need a farewell tour by Tom Brady. I need him to announce it's his final year so we can be prepared for this man exiting the league. I can't just be talking about Tom Brady a little bit, knocking him a little bit in a game here or there, and then he's just gone and we can't watch this man anymore. I cannot take that. My heart cannot take that. This man's the greatest quarterback of all time, and he's just going to leave just like that. No farewell tour, no kind of, hey, this is it, or just gearing us up this offseason. He's like, oh, I'm going till I'm 90. Retirement? I'm playing till I'm 90 years old. What are you, crazy? And now all of a sudden the complete 180 script flipped. Now we kind of get him saying, and we're going to talk about what he's been saying on the podcast. Hey, I may be retiring. I'm thinking about it. Still the end of the year, but I'm still thinking about it. I can't just have this come out of nowhere, out of left field. It's crazy. I can't see Tom Brady not playing. It's going to truly crush me. Love watching this man play. The winner that he is, absolutely love it. The true competitor that he is, absolutely love it. And if he just decides to walk away and this was the final year, we had no kind of, ramp up. We can't celebrate this man every single week and give him all the praise that he needs on his farewell tour. I need him. I need Tom Brady. You must. I will not let you. I will not let you retire from the league until you have a farewell tour. So, man, oh man, get ready, folks. I'm trying to gear up to prepare. If this man does retire, it's absolutely going to kill me. But let's hear what he's saying as of recently, and why this is such a big story is because he's been on a podcast kind of telling it, talking about it and all that, and I'm gonna say some things here when we get to that point on why he's deciding to retire. I don't love how he's framing why he wants to retire, but let's see what Tom Brady is actually saying on why he may be potentially thinking about retiring here. So he's been on a podcast, and these are some quotes by the GOAT. Here we go. Quote one, I think the point is there's no real rush for me to figure out what's next. I'll know when I know. It's the day after the season. I think for all of us, we can decompress a bit. It's been 6 straight months of football, every day consumed by day in and day out football. Now it's just time to spend some time with my family and my kids. As I've gotten older, I think the best part is football is extremely important in my life, and it means a lot to me, and I care about what we're trying to accomplish as a team and my teammates. The biggest difference now that I'm older is that I have kids now, and I care about them a lot as well. And then he goes on to say this, and this is where I have a little bit of an issue with why Tom Brady wants to retire. Here it is, quote, my wife is my biggest supporter. It pains her to see me get hit out there, and she deserves what she needs from me as a husband, and my kids deserve what they need from me as a dad. So I've got no problem with the kid part. You want to be the dad, you want to be there, absolutely. But for the wife to come in and be like, Tom, it pains me so much. I don't want to see you get hurt. It hurts. I can't stand watching you get hit, and you're older, and you're not a spring chicken anymore. The bones are not no spring chicken bones in you anymore. You get hit, this happens. You got to think about your future. That's where I have a little bit of a problem. This is Tom Brady, folks. Thomas Brady. Do y'all watch every single documentary that he's doing in the middle of playing, which I don't like? I really wish he would have saved all of this. You can record it, but I wouldn't release this while you're playing. That's where I have a little bit of a knock, but you do you, go. But Tom Brady, every time he's in, the Man in the Arena, all those other shows, the documentaries that focus on him being fantastic, what does he say? He loves the sport. He's all about the sport. Football's his life. He puts his entire life into it. We're talking about the NFL, folks. There's really no better sports competition. I really think this is the highest. Yes, you have the Olympics. That's a little bit of a different, but this is, a little bit bigger than basketball. We're talking about the highest level of a sport. The greatest. He's the greatest of all time in a sport, actively still able to get it done. This was the best season he's ever had. And then we get Giselle trying to kind of force him to retire a little bit. She should have no say. And I know he's married, all that 50-50 partnership. This is a little different, folks. We're talking about sports. We're talking about competition, forever ingrained in history here. You only got one chance. There's no going back. You can't play NFL when you're 50. Maybe Tom Brady can, because it's proving like he can, but Big Ben, 39, and that's trash. And that's another thing. I get Big Ben getting a farewell tour. We all knew this was his last season. He should have retired last year. Big Ben should have retired last year. No farewell tour for him, unfortunate. But, I had to endure garbage Big Ben this year, and Tom Brady may not even give us a garbage year. I don't care if Tom Brady's garbage next year. I need the farewell tour. So for that alone, you can't retire this year, Tom Brady, okay? I can't suffer through Big Ben being the worst I've ever seen a quarterback play, and then Tom Brady just leaves like that. No. But back to Giselle, I just think it's way selfish by her, folks. If this is, honestly, or obviously, I don't know the actual conversations that have taken place, but the way that Tom Brady's phrasing this, and this was such a big, narrative, this quote was all over the place when it first happened. Everyone's like, Giselle saying, she doesn't want him to get hit out there. But that's a little selfish on her part. I get it from the kid's perspective. You got to be the dad. You got to be there for them. You're trying to raise some kids out here. I get that part. But with Giselle, just a random person that he met, does she even love him? She's a model. He's the best football player of all time. Do they have any chemistry there? I don't know, folks. Is that real relationship? Is that real love? Who knows? Is she after the money? Probably not, but also potentially. Y'all know how people are. And that goes for both genders, okay? I'm not being sexist. It's both genders. You tell me if I can go and marry a girl that's got $12 trillion, I don't give a damn about love. Give me the money. I'll fake the love. But I just think it's so selfish by Giselle here. I really think she should have no choice. And I know she's the wife, but this is what she signed up for. If she truly loves Tom Brady, then she would ride or die. I don't want you to retire. This is your chance. This is what you've been doing your entire life. And you're going to let Giselle be like, hey, I think you should retire now. Yeah, let's hang it up, Tom. All right, you've done enough. Oh, he hasn't done enough. If he says he hasn't done enough, then he hasn't done enough. This is the best season statistically he's ever had. And you want him to retire? I absolutely cannot. I would be sick to my stomach if the true reason why he retired was because of Giselle. That'd be like Tom Brady being like, Giselle, I don't want you to kind of be a model anymore. I don't want you to go down that catwalk, because what happens if you your heel breaks and you twist your ankle and then your ankle's broken? I can't. Oh my God! Every time you walk down that catwalk, oh my goodness, I fear for you so much, Giselle. You gotta retire from modeling. You can't be in the Victoria's Secret fashion show anymore, because it pains me knowing that you could get hurt walking out there in those big heels and you taking a fall and you getting hurt, and then you're embarrassed in the media because you fell on the walkway like a rookie does. I can't. Oh, Giselle, please, I can't. My heart can't take it. Giselle, you've got to retire from modeling. No, that's what she loves. That's what she does. She can't do it forever. Models out. You're 21. You're gone. I don't know how she still does it, but she still does it. So credit to her. But it's just like, oh. If you truly are going to hang it up because Giselle tells you to, because Giselle doesn't like to see you get hit out there, come on. This is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. You are the greatest at your job. You're the greatest in the world. It's not like you're the greatest in New York. You're the greatest you're the greatest in the world. The National Football League, the highest competition that there is. The biggest sport that there is. He's the king of it. And she just wants to say, oh, Tom, because my heart can't take it. I don't want to see you get hit out there. I think it's truly selfish out there, folks. I truly do. This is bigger than everything, folks. When you become this kind of celebrity god, this man's a god of football, it becomes a little bit bigger than just your wife. You know what I mean? If Tom Brady just wants to decide on his own, he hangs up, that's his decision, then that's fine. I've got no problem with Tom Brady himself. Like, if Tom Brady was single, no kids, no wife, nothing like this, same thing right here, but just no wife and no kids, of course he's gonna play. So I get, he wants to be, it's not like the man's gonna get murdered. I know Andrew Luck retired from the league because he saw how, all that played out, so I get it from that aspect. But for your wife to kind of, force you, coax you into retiring, I truly, oh man, I don't respect it, folks. I don't. So we'll see what he decides to do. I truly hope we get one more year here by Tom Brady. And, once again, he doesn't want the farewell tour. We got the quote right here. Let's read this. Gray asked Brady if he would like a farewell tour. He said this, quote, I think that'd be distracting for me. My enjoyment comes from not the recognition of what I've accomplished as a player in the league. My enjoyment comes from the competition. Once again, competition. Giselle is taking him away from competition. Why he loves football, why he stays so long. He loves the competition. And if you can still compete, you're going to regret it. Well, I mean, y'all that played high school sports, y'all that got to college sports, don't y'all feel a little bit empty knowing that you can't go back, that you can't do that again? The competition, yeah, you can join rec leagues and all this, but it's not that competition. It's not that drive. Everybody always kind of fawns over their last time on a field, and Tom Brady can still get it done. The competition, he loves it. He thrives off of it. Now we got Giselle being like, you're done, sweetie. Honey, you're done. The competition, yeah, okay, we could play Scrabble. We'll have family Scrabble night, the competition, okay? Honey, you're done, yes, okay. She forced him to move to Tampa Bay. Okay, honey, let's go to Tampa Bay. Yeah, should we go to Tampa Bay, Tom? Yeah, I think I'm liking Tampa Bay. Let's go to Tampa Bay, Tom, you want to go to the Dolphins? I like Miami, but Tampa Bay. Let's go to Tampa Bay. Let's go. So I just can't get behind that, folks. I truly can. So we'll see what he does. And if Tom Brady wants to retire on his own, that's fine. His own 100% decision. He wants to retire. I will absolutely respect that. I'll still praise him as the GOAT. I've got no problem. But if Giselle was kind of 5, 3, even 1% of the decision, can't respect her. Can't respect her for voicing that. You keep that bottle down inside and you support your man, because that's what marriage is, right? So, can't get behind it. Alrighty, folks, that is going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We're back live tomorrow, noon Eastern, focusing big time on the AFC and NFC championships games that we would see later that day. And we will, discover some prop bets, some, prop bets, same game parlays. We'll try to see what we can do. Now that there's only 2 games on, not a lot to bet from. You still want to make a little bit of extra money. Yeah, betting the 1 team or the 2 teamer. Yeah, you get a little bit of nice chunk of change, but you want to hit that 4 teamer, that 8 teamer, that $1 million hit. Yes. So we'll see if there's a potentially way we can all be millionaires by watching, football on Sunday. So we'll go deep into that tomorrow on the show. We'll also, we'll go through basketball quickly, folks. We won't. I think we spent 45 minutes on basketball today. That's why we set the clock during the NFL season. But that's gonna do it for us today, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Follow me on Twitter. Be a part of the conversation. Let me know what y'all think. Comment down below. Y'all know what to do. So we will see you tomorrow, folks. Have a